and the incumbent created liaison. He accepted that he was going to be an outgoing president and the president-elect will be the incoming president. And the liaison started working. They had an agenda to see what to tidy up, such as the release of prisoners, those who are in detention with us, to tidy up so that it will be a goodwill gesture as we move towards the inauguration. We also agreed that we'll form two teams, transition teams. The president-elect formed his team, wrote a letter to introduce the team to the incumbent. But on the day that the letter was to be handed, they said, an announcement is going to come. So wait for the announcement. And what was the announcement? I reject the elections. I've annulled it. We are going to have fresh elections under a new independent electoral commission. Those were the words. We, from the very beginning, told our electorate and everybody that the rule of law, good governance, human rights, respect for human rights, democracy, these were unnegotiable. We will consolidate it in this country. We believe that the Independent Electoral Commission is the only authority empowered by the Constitution to declare results and to declare a winner. And that has happened. That's the language of the Constitution. If anybody wants to reject results, fine, you can form an opinion. But if you want to challenge it, you go to the courts. And you have 10 days to do that, to the Supreme Court. That was not the way he took. The road he took was to reject, annul, and declare that there will be fresh elections under another independent electoral commission. That you should note. That is the route he took, and that is the source of the crisis. When that declaration was made, and a threat that he will not tolerate any demonstrations, the coalition met, reviewed the words, reviewed the letter, reviewed the spirit, and we saw that the spirit was no longer calling for peaceful transfer of power. It is calling for confrontation. And the coalition said that it is not interested in confrontation. It will not take part in confrontation. No demonstration will take place because the Constitution will prevail. The language of the Constitution says that the Independent Electoral Commission will declare the winner. But since election takes place within 3 months before the end of the term of office of the incumbent, we read the Constitution well, got our legal advice properly, and knew that the incumbent is still effectively the President of the Republic of the Gambia until his 5-year expires. And that is in January 2017. So the President-elect made a declaration that he is declared elected by the competent body. And according to the Constitution, which has no ambiguity, he is to assume office on the day that the term of office of the incumbent expires. That is the order and command of the Constitution. So he issued a statement indicating, having been elected, all my supporters should focus on the day that the Constitution says I should assume office. And don't quarrel. If you see the soldiers in the street, know that the incumbent is still the President of the Republic of the Gambia. The institutions are under his control. He can order soldiers to go and be deployed anywhere. See them, go about your business. That was the language of the President-elect issued, and we'll give you all the addresses, copies of the addresses that he has made so far before you leave. That was the language. And when he gave that address, and it was a very trying moment for the nation, for the coalition, he added that both he and the incumbent were born in 1965 when Gambia became independent. They are duty bound to ensure a smooth transfer of power. And that he, in his own language, intends to invite him as the second president of the republic, along with the first president, to his inauguration. So one cannot talk about inflammatory remarks here. It has never been part of the language of the president-elect. Not during the campaign period, not after the declaration of results, not after even the issue of unconstitutional statements. So in short, the address was tempered with maturity, reason, and constitutional authority. That was the position of the coalition. The next day, there was a reaction on TV, not from the incumbent, but from a source from his party, that they were going to court. Eventually, we heard that they have heard. That's hearsay to us, because President-elect is not part of those who are served. So we don't know anything about their court case because we are not party to it, we are not served. It seemed like the whole case is about the anomalies caused by the Independent Electoral Commission, which fits more into corrupt electoral practices, and you take people to court for abuse of their authority. We don't know how that links to election petition. We don't know. We don't know anything about it. We should not be quoted in any manner about their petition. We don't know anything about it. Zero knowledge, apart from hearsay. So consequently, the ECOWAS came. And this is simply what they were told, that the Constitution of the Gambia empowers the Independent Electoral Commission to conduct elections and declare results, and that has happened. We went through a process of trying to have transition where we set up teams, and the teams would have met, look at the ministries, know their strategic plans, know their programs, know their projects, their action plans, draw their budget lines, the public corporation the same thing, and then facilitate dossier being created to be handed over to the shadow cabinet to prepare to govern when he's inaugurated.